Good evening, friends. I feel like saying good morning. I know it's tough. I know you've been here since morning. But as they say, we have reserved the best for the last. So all I can promise you that till 5 o'clock. So the good news is we'll make sure that we finish the session and wrap it up by 5:05 at max. And all my panelists have given a go-ahead that we'll take a haircut on our session time, just to respect so that all the delegates and all the audience here can go back home on time. So that's the good news. And I know some of you are in transition, people are taking quick bio breaks and coming, but we thought instead of breaking it up, we'll finish the session on time. So with that, friends, let me first invite our panelists. And the good part is that we have a group of 6 celebrities who are going to talk to you. And when I say celebrity, I mean it. If we had more time, I would have read out the bios of each one of them to prove to you that they are celebrities in their own right. So before I introduce the session and anything else, I'm going to request the panelists to please join us here on the stage. And since I talked about celebrities, so let me start with Prabir. Prabir, I'm going to request you to please join us here on the dais. And by the time they're setting up stage, I'm sorry, but by the time they set it up, so okay, let me introduce Prabir. Prabir needs no introduction and heads HR globally for Cipla, had a fantastic, stellar career with Dr. Reddy's, Tata Motors, Reliance Industries, but more than that, a thought leader, and in more than one ways have defined HR space for all of us. Thank you, Prabir, for joining and taking a time out. Friends, we also have Sumit here from Godrej, heads HR for Godrej globally. Again, a wonderful professional, a long career, very rare to find people who've been with one company all through the career. Sumit, thank you so much for joining and being here. And Sumit is a core member for conceptualizing this program. So whatever you're seeing is largely contributed by him. We also have the third CHRO, which is Kevin. Kevin represents Dream11, and today is a match, so if you don't know what Dream11, I'm sure all of you know, but just in case you don't know, so go on CrickBuzz or any cricket application, you will know what Dream11 does. So he heads HR for Dream11. He was formerly with InMobi, Flipkart, brings in very interesting perspective, Exceler again. So good to have you here, Kevin. All 3 of you will represent the CHRO community. So friends, we are going to have a great time with these 3 speakers. And on the other side, though there is no debate format, but on the other side, we have 3 entrepreneurs who are going to share their perspectives from the other side of the table. And we have Rajiv from Knowlescape. Knowlescape is doing some fascinating work in gamification, artificial intelligence, especially on the learning side. So we would love to hear your story, and you flew in from Bangalore. Thank you, Rajiv, for doing that. We have Prasad from Synergis. Prasad is known as more for Zing HR, the product. And good to have you here. Prasad has been a veteran entrepreneur who's been building this organization, who's doing fascinating stuff. So we would love to hear from you because you're at the forefront of digital, Prasad. And finally, we have Adil. Adil is a great person who's evangelized many things, but what he's evangelizing today probably India needs most, which is on the talent acquisition side, and he represents an organization called Belong. Most of you know Belong, but the work they are doing again is on the cutting edge of recruitment. So getting Adil here is again, he's flew in from Bangalore. So we've got a fantastic, diverse panel. We don't have representation of women. When I say diverse, I was thinking you must be asking me. So Indrani fills in for that. Indrani has got all of us together. So in case you don't like something about our session, friends, just blame it on Rajesh. He organized the program and he got us here. Right? If you like it, you can appreciate all of us on our Twitter handles. You can write to Prabir, Adil, any of us, or my Twitter handle at Pankaj Bansal, PB. With this, if we are set for this panel, can I invite the speakers?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, no problems. I think we are pretty much done. When you do things on the go, and as we call it in the world of digital, you are always in beta. So I think we are on beta and we are setting up things and leveraging time. So I don't need a chair actually, I may not sit. You can remove one chair. Once again, and for understanding and giving us time. So what we are planning to do is that the time we have, as per my watch, we have exactly about 70 minutes with us if we target to finish the session at 5 o'clock sharp. So we will leverage that the most with this wonderful and diverse panel. I had a small PPT, but I'm going to skip that up. And I will just share the context with all of you is that when we are talking of integrating digital or the tech in the DNA of HR, it's an age-old subject that we all have been discussing. I remember in the last 1.5 days, almost every speaker has touched upon the agenda of digital. So the way we are starting is we have two broad themes, the way we have divided the session. The first theme, where each of the panelists is going to share their view, and followed by a Q&A from all of you. There'll be two questions which will be asked from you, two poll questions, one which will start now, so you can reply on that question, and we'll hear the view from our panelists. So dear panelists, before I ask, if you assume there is a digital cycle, people are called digital natives, people are called digital immigrants, people are called digital completely unaware what's happening, all in this value chain, how do you see HR playing the role? So I would love to hear from each one of you how you define the digital approach or the digital DNA. And one disclaimer, because it's everywhere, that when they represent, they are not representing their companies, they're representing their individual view, because each one of them carry a very rich experience of working with multiple organizations or customers. So they speak for themselves, not necessarily for their customers or their companies, so they can be as free as possible. And with that concept, and with that context, I'm going to request, since we talked about celebrity, Prabir, with you. So we